Hey Mosaic, welcome to our Mosaic Daily Podcast for Thursday, June 25th. We're so glad that you have been joining us on this journey as we walk through the book of Proverbs. Our goal is to be a community that is on mission together, that is filled and empowered by the Holy Spirit, and that is filled with the wisdom and knowledge of God so that we can walk in the way of Jesus. And one of the ways we've been doing that is by going through the book of Proverbs this month. And so today our proverb is June 25th. You know, our kids love to snack. I have 4 kids, ages 2 through 10, and it seems like nonstop they're asking me for a snack, especially in between meals. And if you've been a parent, you know what happens when your kids snack throughout the whole day. They do not eat their dinner. They do not eat their lunch. The hard work that you put into making a meal for them just goes out the window because all of a sudden they're not hungry anymore for those vegetables or that meat or the rice or beans or whatever you fixed for dinner that night. The book of Proverbs tells us in a similar way to not get too into the sweet things of the world. Proverbs 25 tells us that a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. It says, "It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory." It's not good to eat too much honey. It's not good to chase after just the sweet things of life, whether that's sugar in our diet or too much junk we're watching on Netflix, Tiger King, whatever it might be, or just doing things for ourselves. We need to pursue the things of God, things that are good. Those sweet things of life, they're fine, but if we have too much of them, we are not going to be living in the path and the way of Jesus. That is not the way of wisdom. Doing what is right requires us to get rid of everything that's not right in our hearts. And Proverbs 25 talks a lot about the way that we should live. I love this in verse 11. It says, "A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver." We need to choose our words carefully. Words can heal, words can destroy. And a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold. It's like those beautiful artwork we see in the ancient Near Eastern world of pomegranates or apples that are beautiful and decorating things. That when our words are words of life and goodness and truth and we're filling people up, it's like an apple of gold. It's this beautiful setting. Our words matter so much. He says in verse 17, "Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he have his fill of you and hate you." Just some good practical wisdom here, that don't be over in your neighbor's house too much. I tell my kids this all the time, like, hey, play with your friends, your neighbors, it's so good, but don't be over there too much, lest they have their fill of you and hate you. Good wisdom for our neighbors. And then verse 21, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you." Now, a lot of scholars aren't sure entirely what to make of this, but we do know that the way of Jesus is not hurting someone. So by pouring burning coals on their head, it probably does not mean you're actually going to scorch his head. I've also heard things about people carrying coals around in their head. I think that's just kind of a made-up story. There's not much background for that actually being true. Sorry, everyone who's heard that in a sermon or something. But I think the reality is more that when you encounter your enemy, give him food to eat, give him water to drink, take care of him, love him, serve him. I think of the story of the Good Samaritan. They were mortal enemies. And what does that Samaritan do? The enemy of the Jew, when he sees his neighbor laying broken, bloody, and beaten, he takes him, he binds up his wounds, he puts him on his own animal, he carries him to safety, and he says, "I will pay all his medical bills." That is the way of Jesus. And it's to look after our enemies. I think the burning coals is more to do with his face is going to get flushed and he's going to realize, oh man, I'm embarrassed. My shame is taken onto me, and God's going to reward you for that. We don't do good deeds to harm our enemies. We actually truly want to look after them. And man, especially right now with all that's going on in our world with COVID-19 and differences of opinions and racial tensions and riots and protests, and we're all trying to just do our best and find our way. If there are people who are far from you politically, people who are far from you socioeconomically, racially, whatever that might be, The answer is to not yell at them and curse them and try to get them to see things from your perspective. The answer is to give them food when you see them in need, to give them a glass of water, to do good deeds for them, to love them, to honor them, to listen. That is the way of Jesus. We want to get rid of the filth and ugliness in our hearts, to take it out, to allow Jesus to do that work of a surgeon so that we can live the way of Jesus. So a couple great thoughts just here in 25. I'd love, hey, even in the comments, to share, hey, what is it that you've been learning today as you read Proverbs 25? Is it more about your words? Is it more about not being at your neighbor's house too much? Is it more about dealing with your enemies or having self-control and not eating those sweet things or indulging in the fine things of life too much? God's wisdom is here to help you walk in the way of Jesus, in the path of peace, to be an instrument of hope in your world. I pray that today was just a little encouragement for your heart. Have a great week. See ya.